Statement of purpose, mayor decisions today be made with wisdom, careful deliberation, and in the best interest of the city of Diamond Head. May we display patience and kindness in our dealings with each other and all who are in attendance, and may any decisions made today promote the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Diamond Head and the enhancement of the city as a whole.
All right, pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Parrish.
Present.
Commissioner Lawson.
Present.
Commissioner Peters.
Present.
Commissioner Sutherland. Commissioner Raymond.
Present.
Commissioner White.
Present.
Chairman Brewer.
All right. Can we get a confirmation or adjustment to the agenda? Any? None?
No changes, so we just need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the agenda?
And a second?
First.
I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, anything on the architectural review? All right, there's none there. All right, new business. Number 3, it would be public hearing on a proposed text amendment to the zoning ordinance Article 3, 4, and 5 to allow Aloha District mixed use, live make, and townhome uses in the C1 district. All right, open the public hearing.
And so the first thing we'll do, Commissioner Raymond, is we'll, if you don't mind, we'll turn it over to Bob Barber with Orion, who we have on the phone tonight, and he's going to kind of explain the rough draft of this text amendment that we're going to talk about today. After he does that, if y'all have questions for him, and then we'll open it up for any public comments. So we'll turn it over to you, Bob.
Great. Thank you, commissioners, and thank you for allowing me to participate remotely. My travel schedule, I could not be there in person, but am here with you by phone to basically explain, provide the background, and briefly go through the concept that should be before you tonight. Commissioners, as you know, we developed Diamond Head 2040, the comprehensive plan, 3 or 4 years ago, and Diamond Head has been really outstanding in implementing the plan. Implement a plan in 3 ways: through policies, projects, and management. And you have certainly engaged the project side of things, the new streets that have been constructed or reconstructed, and then also on the policy side, the zoning code was rewritten to align with the plan and implement its ideas. One of its key concepts that was very important to Diamond Head, and I believe still is important to Diamond Head, is the development of a downtown, a true, a conventional downtown area that has a distinct identity for the community. And the plan expresses that in terms of the Aloha District, and it provides examples. We developed and provided concepts for the street construction that's been implemented, and then we also provided and developed the policy component, which was the Aloha Zoning District. When we went through the zoning district rewrite, the Aloha District, which is a form-based district, by the way, is different from conventional zoning. The form-based district will include building types so that you get good architecture. It also addresses the way buildings are located on particular lots. Typically they're pulled up closer to the street to provide a walkable environment, mixed-use downtown environment. So all of that is in the plan, and the the zoning code rewrite itself included the text for the Aloha District, but that district was never mapped. It was never put on the zoning map itself for a number of reasons. There was question about, what to do with the existing C1 zoning. Was that the best way to implement it? There were just a number of questions. So over the past couple of years, the discussion has occurred as to how best to implement it, and the emerging idea has been for the offering of an optional a development option, so that those persons in the downtown, what I'm going to call the downtown or the Aloha District now, that are Zone C1, would have the option of developing under the Aloha District provisions. So all of that background to lead up to what I hope you're looking at or have access to, which is an alternative development scenario using the Aloha District standards. And in this case, what would occur, or is proposed to occur, is that a land property owner could elect at the time of development to develop, would have the option of developing under the Aloha District standards, and specifically the mixed use component of the Aloha District. And that would include the building types and the way the buildings are laid out on lots to create the walkable downtown environment. And once the property owner elects to develop under the Aloha District standards, that decision is irreversible. They have to go forward under the Aloha District standards. They have to observe the building types. They have to observe the setbacks and the build-to lines and all the stuff they have to observe. The only way they could reverse that, including the uses, the only way that could be reversed would be through a rezoning procedure. So as you're looking at the concept, you will see various components there, how it's applicable. Item 2, the standards are cited in item 3. Item 4 addresses the election, the effect of the election. Wherever there's a conflict, the Aloha District standards would control, and then on through the remainder of the item there, with the relationship to C1, the other regulations, and so forth. So to summarize all that, let me summarize it by saying this: Diamond Head has a desire, certainly as reflected in your comprehensive plan, to develop a high-quality, mixed-use, downtown, walkable environment. And you have taken steps to go in that direction with the infrastructure investments that you've made. There needs to be policy reinforcement behind that, which is the Aloha District itself. And what is proposed here is to offer the option for those properties currently zoned C1 to develop as or under the Aloha mixed use component. So that's a quick summary, Mr. Chairman. I hope I'm audible and you can hear, but that's where we are at this time, proposing that for comment and review. It's for vetting, review, and comment.
So at this point, if any of y'all have specific questions for Bob, y'all go ahead. If not, we can check and see if anybody in the audience has any comments. However y'all want to do it.
Bob, would you expand on the mixed-use statement?
Yes. So your Aloha District will have a mixed-use building type, and that is essentially a building that is on the ground floor, some form of commercial or office development, typically retail, and then above that you can have living upper floor lofts. That would be a mixed-use building, and that mixed use lends itself to vibrant downtown development. over time. And so if you thought of any sort of, I guess, older, smaller town in southwest Mississippi with a core downtown, that would be classic mixed-use development, which what we're trying to achieve. And you can contrast that with suburban development. I mean, you have examples of that already, that really the commercial district in Diamond Head is kind of a suburban environment. It's auto-oriented, not very walkable, and the idea is to convert that, for which the city has made great strides. I mean, really amazingly good strides in the street redevelopment and the infrastructure investments, the roundabouts, and so forth. So that's the concept of the mixed-use development.
Bob, like Seaside in Florida?
Seaside would be a classic example of it. My only hesitancy in citing Seaside is, Seaside has become a very exclusive kind of community. But in terms of its form, yes, that is exactly the kind of thing that is the goal and is hoped to be achieved and will be achieved over time. I think there have already been inquiries of developing under the mixed-use guidelines.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So we're not here to vote on it tonight. We're going to put it on the agenda, make some, whatever revisions. We're going to be taking comments. Myself, John McCraw, email the city if you all specifically have any ideas, any revisions. Send them along. We encourage the public to do it as well. And if there are anybody out that wants to speak on it, now's the time.
Is there a new height restriction that's established?
Right now, we still, the current height is, what is it, Bo, 35 feet in the city?
Yeah, it's still 35 feet everywhere in the city.
But, yeah, that's, so for the commercial district, and
3
that will,
stories plus or minus?
that'll be something that'll have to be visited as a potential development comes in. Yes, sir.
So the landowner has an option of developing it as C1 or Aloha. Is that inviting somewhat of a hodgepodge of, especially on that streetscape that, Bob, that you're explaining, the walkability? You've got several parcels that go Aloha, and then there's a holdout that develops a shopping center, and it just breaks that rhythm of that streetscape.
You've identified the, I guess, perhaps the disadvantage of the scenario. So yes, I mean that potential is there for a C1 zone property, and then the property owner next door choosing the Aloha option, developing that way, might have you would create a divergence there. That possibility exists. So the idea is that to induce the mixed-use development with the least with the easiest introduction of the mixed-use development to create the optional scenario. But yes, you have identified a potential situation.
And don't forget, too, that one of the things that we did with the zoning ordinance upgrade is we did implement some new standards in the C1 district. We also have architectural review in the C1 district. So the goal is, even if someone does elect, I'm going to keep it C1, we still have some tools in our bag that we did not have before, with architectural review and things of that nature.
That's a good point. There are architectural controls, there are design controls that will minimize the disruption and perhaps, and it will offer some tools to blend the two together, so it's not as jarring a difference as it otherwise would have been had we not rewritten the zoning code with the design standards.
And, and so this is the first step with our existing C1 district. The goal is, as we go, we move west, some of that undeveloped land, is to rezone those properties, that have not been developed, and really get this Aloha district implemented in full in that area. We're trying to this is as we explained the last couple of meetings, as we did the introduction and the kickoff to this, is it's going to be in some phases. We thought the easiest phase, it's a text amendment, it does not require a rezoning of properties, but you're going to see that. Some property owners have already come to us and said, hey, this is what we're looking at, this is what we think will work for us. We will be coming to the city with rezoning, and those will be the things that we do as we move forward, step 2, 3, 4.
All right, we're closing it. Public hearing. All right, we'll move to number 4.
Bob, if you need to go, I know you needed to run. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for letting me dial in and provide the commentary via phone. I know it's not ideal, but I appreciate it very much. I'll look forward to the comments, whatever discussion that occurs afterwards, and we'll get with Derek and Bo and refine what we have, and look forward to next meeting and to whatever action the commission wishes to take. Thank y'all so much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, number 4, Sela Construction LLC on behalf of John, I'm going to murder that last name.
Girosa. Kirschenbaum.
Okay. Kirschenbaum has filed an application requesting a variance from the zoning ordinance, Article 3.4.8, to allow a resident within 17 feet of the rear property line. The property address is 557 Golf Club Drive. The tax parcel number is 131C-2-13-092.000. The property is in a R10 zoning district. The setback for the resident from the rear property line is 20 feet. The variance requested is 3 feet. The case file number is 202-600-241.
Bo, you're up. Do your thing.
I'll just do it from here if that's all right with everybody. Yes, so if you turn to page 9 of your packet, that's where the application starts. There's a site plan on page 13. There is an existing patio that is being enclosed for more living space, and they want to add a patio on the back of it. The setback is 20 feet, and they're wanting to add a covered patio, which would be at 17 feet from the rear property line. They're on the golf course here. It says 14th Fairway. So that's it. The applicant and contractor are here. If y'all would like to speak, y'all can, or if you have any questions for them.
And while if they have anything to say, I'll mention too, we do have proof of publication, we have proof of mailing to all of the neighbors, we had proof posted here at City Hall. We've received, Bo, no emails, phone calls, anything from anybody, either pro or con, right?
That's correct. We've received nothing on these. We received nothing on these. On this variance, and like Derek said, the following pages 15 through 18 shows our advertisements as required.
And so the applicant and his builder, I believe, are here, so if y'all have any specific questions for them.
I had one homeowner reach out to me that was all for it,
Okay.
that lives next door.
The staff recommendation was to approve it. I move we accept the staff recommendation.
And I love where you're going. Let's just for the record, build the record, so what, he'll make a recommendation to you that you will adopt as your findings, and then we'll, so Bo, if you just briefly, and in your packet is his staff report, and he does, Bill let the cat out of the bag here. Clearly, he does recommend approval, as it meets all the conditions of a variance.
Before I start, I guess there was no other questions? Okay. Yeah, so we'll recommend to approve this. Some of the following findings of fact that we have to prove for variances would be special circumstances. The current building, according to the survey, is 58.3 feet from the front property line and 22.9 from the rear property line currently. So it is set back very far from the front setback. We have granted, or the commission has granted many similar variances to this. So many houses have patios that are closer to 20 feet. In my recommendation, I believe 3 feet is very reasonable, especially considering there's a golf course, there's no properties behind it that would be affected. Still 17 feet from the property line, and it won't change use or density in the comprehensive plan. So that's our recommendation.
Now go, Bill.
I move we approve. I move we accept the recommendation.
It's a minor encroachment at 3 feet, but I am curious. Derek, I thought I heard you say it meets the conditions of the variance.
So the elements, when you look at the elements and the findings that you all have to make, A through H in our ordinance,
Yes.
those all have to be answered in the, in the negative, I guess, as I'm trying to figure, but they all have to be, all of those have to be met. And so Bo's recommendation is, his findings are that those are all met. Most importantly, that the spirit of the ordinance is still met, and it does not change the density, use of the property, anything like that. So that's what I meant by that.
Yes, at page 19, that is in our zoning ordinance. It specifically spells out those questions that need to be addressed in order to know we're granting a variance correctly. So.
Second.
You make a motion, got a first.
Bill made a motion.
I'll second.
All in approval?
Aye.
All right, just for the applicant, we say this every time, so this is a recommendation. City council meets a week from today, is that correct? Okay, and so they'll make the final decision, but the recommendation is unanimous to approve. Thank you.
All right. Number 5, Doug Parker has filed an application requesting variance from the zoning ordinance Article 4.3.6 to allow a swimming pool within 8 feet of the rear property line. The property address is 85007 Diamond Head Lakes Boulevard. The tax parcel number is 067M-2-35-032.000. The property is in a R6 zoning district. The setback for the swimming pool from a rear property line is 10 feet. The variance requested is 2 feet. The case file number is 202-600-240.
All right, before I set this up real quick, I'm going to get Josh, if you don't, this is their contractor. He's got some larger and better printed copies than my scanned copies that you can't see very well, so y'all can see the exact measurements here we're looking at. So,
The property line was at an angle, so it's approaching on this side. This side.
It's on one side.
Yes, sir.
And while he's showing the commissioners pictures, I'll just, for the record, we do have proof of publication in the Seacoast Echo. Proof was posted at the property, mailed to all of the neighbors here at City Hall. And so, Bo, did you receive any emails, phone calls, texts, anything positive or negative on this one?
I didn't receive anything at all on this one.
Okay.
So if, looking at that, I'll just go through the basis of this, wanting to construct a swimming pool there. As you can see from that, it would be 8 foot, a little bit greater than that, but that's the variance they're asking is for that 2 feet. Swimming pools have to be 10 feet from a rear property line. Yes, from the water's edge, that's correct. Jazz was telling me, so the pool deck can actually go up to 4 feet from the property line, so that's just the water's edge setback. I don't believe, Josh, I don't believe there's going to be anything further on that side, right?
No, sir, it's going to be just a flat wall on the back, and that 8 foot is to the outside wall. You're going to have a 12-inch top beam on it, so water's going to be 9 foot
Yeah.
from
okay.
the property line, so.
Okay.
And there'll be no slab or nothing on the back side of the pool. It'll just
Yeah,
be a
there's-
drop-off.
There's no deck
No
on
deck
the
on the
far
back.
side, so they've done everything they can to try to skinny it down. It's-
Yeah, one of the real reasons there is we do have a drainage and utility easement. It was abandoned by water and sewer by the applicants. We still are possibly looking at keeping some of that drainage easement back there mainly for access to, if needed, our Public Works Department can get behind and access the properties, not just theirs, but all the properties along, because if any of you are familiar with this area, this is Diamond Head Lakes Boulevard. As soon as you cross in, there's a significant bottom area in there that if ever needed for us to do any drainage work, we are looking at keeping the easement there is 15 feet right now, so that's why they requested to abandon the easement, but we're looking at keeping some of that easement, so we're still working that out with Public Works.
So that's
of how
not-
much we need.
So that abandonment of the easement is not before the commission tonight, it's just the granting of the
Yeah,
variance?
if we do abandon anything, it would be through the city council.
Okay,
So,
all right.
yeah.
Just want to make that clear, that's nothing that you all have to decide tonight. The less the better, right?
Yeah. Just want to clear up any drainage concerns that anyone would have being that close.
Any other questions for me? You have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Oh, I guess we want to hear that.
Yeah, we're going
Okay. That's all
going
right.
way ahead.
You guys are killing me. Don't follow Bill's lead.
All right, so staff recommendations to approve. If you look there's something peculiar with this land. The lot has an oddly shaped rear lot line. Many homes in this area have pools and have the room for pools. I believe this house it's set back a little further than the other ones, and this was right when I started working here, but I believe that was developed because of the topography. It slopes down towards the front, so to make the house fit better, it was pushed further back to the lot. Other similar variances have been granted for pool setbacks. The swimming pool is very conservative in size, I will say, and I don't believe it would change the character of the district, or it certainly won't change the use or density, so.
It's not a 10-foot variance, only it's 2 feet, right?
2
Right,
feet?
2 feet. It's supposed to be
2 feet.
10, they're asking for 8. Really, to the water's edge, like Josh said, it's going to be about 9 to the water's edge at the end of the day. So,
So, again, I'll make a motion to approve.
okay.
All in favor?
Aye. Did we get a second? Who did second it? Bill? Okay, all right. And that was unanimous. Okay. Thanks, y'all.
Just like the previous one, next Tuesday's meeting at the city council will be the final decision. This is a recommendation, so, next Tuesday. Yep.
You bet. Ready for that pool party?
Enjoy your pool.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, let's keep them for the council, in case y'all. That's true, yeah.
Okay.
All right, is any unfinished business? No unfinished business? Any open public comments to the non-agenda item?
We had those items, so.
Any commissioner comments? No. All right. Any communication or announcements? None?
The next city council meeting is going to be next Tuesday, May 5th. The two variances from tonight will be on there. We will have a meeting in May. It'll be the 26th, I believe.
Yeah.
And 4 variances. So, and I think 2 or 3 of them are golf course fences, so we'll have those on there.
Get a motion to adjourn or rescind?
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
We're done.
All right.